Supreme Court rejects request to block Biden student loan debt forgiveness program, meaning pretty much they're allowing Biden to basically cancel some student loan debt. But let's get right into it, right? The Supreme Court on Thursday rejected a request to block the Biden administration's student loan debt relief program. Justice Amy Coney Barrett denied the emergency application to block the program that had been filed by a Wisconsin taxpayers group Wednesday. Barrett is responsible for such applications issued from cases in the Seventh Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals, which includes Wisconsin. A notation of her denial on the Supreme Court's docket does not indicate that she referred the application to the entire Supreme Court before she rejected the request. The loan relief plan, which is set to begin taking effect this weekend, will cancel up to $20,000 in student debt for millions of borrowers, but a lot less than what was previously thought, right? And more than 8 million people submitted applications for the program last weekend after the U.S. Department of Education launched a beta test. The challenge to the plan came from the Brown County Taxpayers Association in Wisconsin, which had filed a federal lawsuit in that state as part of that effort. Earlier this month, a U.S. District Court judge dismissed the suit, saying the group lacked legal standing to stall the plan pending the outcome of the case. The group then appealed that ruling to the Seventh Circuit. In its request Wednesday to Barrett, the group asked that she or the entire Supreme Court suspend implementation of the debt relief program pending the outcome of its appeal. Dan Lennington, deputy counsel of Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, Incorporated, which acted as lawyers for the taxpayers group, in a statement said, "Of course, we are disappointed that the court denied us emergency relief, but that does not make the program lawful." Lennington said, "Student loan forgiveness will remain under review by the courts and could possibly still be paused as we advocated for this week." And here's the thing, feel free to give your thoughts on this, but if this does truly go through, if the student loan program does end up going through, right? What I would recommend for people to do is one, try to apply for a refund if you had already paid off your student loans previously, or apply for it, right? Because the reality is, if it does go through, they've already screwed everyone in terms of like taxes, right? So you might as well utilize what is available to you for your family's best interest, for your best interest. Like, take care of yourself before worrying about others, right? Because you need to get your financial situation in a better position before you start worrying about other people, right? It's kind of like the same concept of if you fly on an airplane and then you basically are like facing turbulence and all that kind of stuff, you want to put the mask on yourself before putting a mask on, like a mask on a loved one or like someone sitting next to you and so forth, right? Because if you are so financially damaged already to the point that you can't be of help of anyone else, then you can't be really helpful in any situation, right? So if this thing ends up going through and you end up getting some sort of relief by applying or getting a refund, then that just makes it quicker for you to hopefully end up basically helping out someone in the future. That's the way that I would view it, because if it does go through, it's going to go through, basically, right? Like, if it passes, it passes, and if it does pass, you might as well use it, right? Now, I'm not saying that you have to use it, but I'm just saying if the option is there, I suggest that you do use it, right? Now, you could deny doing it, deny accepting the relief for like moral reasons, which is perfectly understandable, right? Like there's nothing wrong with you rejecting the assistance that might be provided to you, rejecting the refund if you were to apply for it, if you could actually get a refund. And also, you got to keep in mind, not everyone is actually even going to be approved of actually student loan forgiveness. Like, I mean, like a week ago, they basically did a hush hush move and basically eliminated a few million people from being eligible for it. So, in the grand scheme of things, nobody really knows how many people are truly going to be able to get this. But if you are eligible to get this forgiveness or to get a refund, financially speaking, I suggest that you take it, right? Not morally speaking, just financially speaking, you should take it. Because then that would just basically boost you into a better financial situation. That's the way that I view it. I try to help people out with their own personal finance situation, not necessarily the whole world, because the reality is you can't help out the whole world, right? And the way that I personally view this student loan debt forgiveness thing is basically like this. I think it's purely to buy votes simply because how can you keep giving student loans and then basically advocating for student loan forgiveness, right? It doesn't work, right? It's basically like saying like, "Hey, I know you're addicted to this cookie, but we're going to cure you of this cookie addiction, but at the same time, we are still going to give out cookies." Right? It's like it's so beyond stupid, right? Or basically another way to look at it is basically someone giving out some sort of substance that people are addicted to, and then basically say like, "Hey, we're going to cure you of this addiction, but then we're going to keep on giving out this addiction to basically pretty much anyone who wants it." Right? It's just it's just a dirty system, honestly. And here's the thing: if you want to learn how to get out of debt and grow your net worth, and if you want to learn how I got out of debt and grew my net worth, go down below and learn how. Right? So that you don't necessarily have to go and take this if you don't want to for moral reasons. But either way, getting out of debt is probably one of the best financial decisions that you can make, and you should take whatever advantages or tools at your disposal to help you get out of debt. Because the faster you get out of debt, the more your monthly income that comes in every single month can be actually freed up and utilized for your future, right? For your future goals, to save for like an emergency fund, to save for education, to save for getting certifications to get even more increase in income, or maybe even to invest into the future, maybe to save up for a house, maybe to be generous and potentially donate money to people, help people, maybe buy a cheap car for a single mother whose car just broke down. That's the goal of money, is to basically put yourself in a situation so that one, you could be super financially well off and also be super generous. That's the way to really view money, debt, all that sort of stuff. We'll see you in future financial commentary news videos. Stay tuned for more.